Drive in Frisco. I'll be performing instrumental high-energy music at 6:30 until 9:30 p.m. Make your reservation today at 972-377-2276. Remember, Sisiki's at the Star is a place to hang out on Saturday nights. For upcoming dates, look for me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Yo, 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 this Solo Lucci, and you are now tuned in to Fishbowl Radio. I just got the foreign in the
I got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl, what's happening? You and your invited, so gonna get to clapping. Go pop a phone, plan, pop it for me. Turn around and drop it for a plan, drop it for me. I'll rent a beach house in Miami. Wake up with no jammies. Lobster tail for dinner. Julio served that scampi. You got it if you want it. Got it if you want it. Said you got it if you want it. Take my wallet if you want it now. Jump in the Cadillac. Girl, let's put some miles on it. Anything you want, just to put a smile on it. You deserve it, baby. You deserve it all. And I'm gonna give it to you. Gold jewelry shining so bright. Strawberry champagne on us. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Fire, fire.
Hey, oh, hey, yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm taking my freedom, pulling it off the shelf, putting it on my chain, wearing it round my neck. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my car, wherever I choose to go, it won't take me far. I'm living my life like it's golden, 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 golden, living my life like it's 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 golden, golden. I'm taking my own freedom, putting it in my song, singing loud and strong, grooving all day long. I'm taking my freedom, putting it in my stroll. I'll be hot stepping, y'all, letting the joy unfold. I'm living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing good. You're doing well. Welcome to Natural Parenting Talk with Lauren and Kima here on the Fishbowl Radio in the Green Stream and showing simultaneously on our Facebook Live on our page, Natural Parenting Talk with Lauren and Kima. Sorry, just a few technical difficulties. We're still getting the hang of this radio thing here, right?
Definitely.
Anyway, Natural Parenting Talk with Lauren and Kima is all about natural parenting, natural living, and a whole lot extra. And of course, we are your hosts, Lauren and Kima. Today's subject is all about cloth diapers. Our special guest today is Donna Wallace from Black Women Do Cloth Diaper. Now, Donna will be calling in from Florida, so we'll be awaiting her call. She should be calling in shortly. But before she calls in, we want to dive in to today's topic like we always do, our weekly segment, which is What's Happening? If you have an opinion on today's topic, feel free to call in at 214-431-5032, or you can add your thoughts in the comment section on the Facebook Live. So I came across this article, actually a few articles really, and it's entitled Overcoming Parenting Challenges in the Tech Era. Now, we all know technology, I mean, it drives our world, drives our society. You really cannot get away from technology. As I'm speaking, I mean, we're in front of all this technology in front of us.
And it's overwhelming.
Yeah, and it's a little overwhelming. But like I said, you really can't get away from technology. And even more so when you start speaking about social media and how that impacts adults, but also and especially how that impacts our kids. So with the rise of technology and so many things changing and growing, parents are faced with the question of, okay, what do I do with this? How do I parent in this tech-driven society in what's called the tech era?
Right.
And it's really interesting that this article mentioned that the average American teenager who uses a smartphone receives his or her first phone at the age of 10, and they spend over 4.5 hours a day on that phone, and that does not include texting or talking.
That's crazy.
It's really crazy. I mean, they're literally just on their phone, mainly on the internet, for on average 4.5 hours a day, maybe more, maybe less, which is just so crazy, and it's leading to cell phone addiction. And 50% of teens report feeling addicted to their phones. And that addiction is linked to so many things now, such as teens' ability, or shall I say the inability, their inability to be attentive, to increasing anxiety, depression, insomnia, and impulsivity. I mean, so many things are linked to this, and it's really, really sad when you think about it, because technology can be such a great thing. I mean, it has moved us so quickly into this era. Right. But there's also, there's a dark side to technology. And it's really interesting that some of our pioneers of this technology that we use, like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, they've been interviewed, and they themselves, the creators, the pioneers, they limit tech time at home. They don't allow their children to be on the phone all the time. And in 2007, Bill Gates, he actually said he didn't let his kids get a cell phone until they were 14.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, they know something clearly that we don't know. They obviously know what the damaging effects of technology can be. But like I said, it leads parents to this question of, okay, do I let my child have a cell phone? Do I not let them have a cell phone?
At what age?
Yeah, at what age? Where do you go from here? When I received my first cell phone, which, I'm going to age myself, I guess. In 2004, I was in 7th grade, and I received my first cell phone. And that phone, it wasn't color. It didn't have internet. All you could do literally was talk and text on that phone. So I can only imagine.
And how did you have to text then?
Oh, yeah. And there wasn't a keyboard. So we had to text using what's called T9, which you're going on the keypad, A, B, C, D, E, F, like that. So it wasn't a whole lot of texting. It took way too long.
Very little texting.
We would pass a note before we would send a text any day. But it's really interesting because I can only imagine, being a junior high, being in high school, and just you're given this phone, which gives you access to everything.
Right.
I mean, the World Wide Web, you can download any app you want to download. You can go on any social media site. And if your parents aren't monitoring you, you can be on that phone at any time of day.
Right, right.
Okay. I think Donna's calling in now, so we'll go ahead and answer that.
Okay.
Hi, Donna.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Can you
Yes.
I'm good. Can you hear me?
We
Yes,
can hear
we
you just
can.
fine. Welcome to Natural Parenting Talk with Lauren and Kima.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here, guys.
We're happy to have you.
Yes, we were just right in the middle of our segment, which we call What's Happening, where we go over just a few things that are happening, not just in natural parenting, but things that affect parents in general. And we were talking about technology and, how do parents navigate in this tech-driven society, especially with our teenagers. Do we give them phones? Do we not give them phones? Do we give them an old school flip phone with no internet access? What are some of your thoughts on that?
It's so funny because I have children that are, I guess, right on the brink of that age.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest two children are 10 and 12, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have social media.
Do they have phones?
Any kind of. They have phones, but they are very basic.
Okay.
They have internet access, and I'm sure they could download the app to have social media, but they have not tried it yet. And I like it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't believe children belong on social media.
Right.
I definitely agree with that.
And it's funny. I was thinking too. It would be so difficult for me to parent today. because, as I continue to say repeatedly, I'm old school. And
Right.
I know that when you walk in the door, you're surrendering your phone. You can pick up a book, but you're putting the phone down. And at night, you're not taking the phone to bed with you because that means you're not going to sleep. You're texting. You're on the internet and all that. I think that does a little bit to help, but I just can't even imagine parenting today. I'm glad I came up when I did. When I grew up, we had rotary phones, so
Yeah.
But a couple people have
say
come.
rotary phones?
Rotary phones, yes,
Dial
ma'am.
tone?
Yes, ma'am. We had rotary phones. And it's funny because I saw a video a couple days ago where this older lady was showing she presented a rotary phone to her grandchild and the child was like, how do you do this? And she kept sticking her finger in the hole thinking that was going to make something happen. She didn't know you had to turn it or anything. So yeah. Like I said, I'm old school. But we have a couple comments. Lauren was talking about her first phone that she had to do T9 to text. And so somebody said, and play Snake.
Yes,
I
which
remember.
I was a Snake
Oh,
champion.
yeah.
I was a champion.
The Nokia phones.
Yeah,
The
play
Nokia phones.
Yeah.
Right.
Took a lick and kept on ticking. You could throw a Nokia phone and
Yeah.
it was still.
Actually, it was a weapon because it was so big.
Yeah.
Seriously, I remember the brick phone.
Okay. Well, if you that was it for that segment. If anybody has any comments, we'll continue to read them. Today is International Jazz Day. So we're going to honor my absolute favorite, the late great Al Jarreau, with We're in This Love Together. I love Al Jarreau and was fortunate enough to have seen him in concert a couple times. The first time was in the early 80s at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles. Any Angelinos know what the Greek theater is. And then fortunately, a couple years ago here in Dallas, I was able to see him. So as you know, he died in February of last year. So we will be back with Donna Wallace of Black Women Do Cloth Diaper right after this song.
It's like a diamond ring, it's a precious thing. And we never want to lose it. It's like a favorite song that we love to sing. Every time we hear the music, and we It's like a diamond ring, it's a precious thing. And we never want to lose it. It's like a favorite song that we love to sing. Every time we hear the music, and we're in this love together. We got the kind that lasts forever. We're in this love together. And like berries on the vine, it gets sweeter all the time. It's like a rainy night and candlelight. And ooh, it's so romantic. We got the whole thing working out so right. And it's just the way we planned it. We're in this love together. We got the kind that lasts forever. Don't you know that we're in this love together? And like berries me say that we're in this love together. We got the kind that lingers all night long.
Welcome back to Natural Parenting Talk with Lauren and Kima. As we said before, today's guest is Donna Wallace of Black Women Do Cloth Diaper. Now, as you know, Lauren and I are the owners of Crunchy Boutique, and we met Donna when we decided to open our store. We were very active on social media, and Donna found out that we were opening. She reached out to us in April of 2017, and she asked if she could feature us on her page, Black Women Do Cloth Diaper. At that time, there were only 3 Black-owned natural parenting brick-and-mortar stores in the country. Now there are only 2. Please hear me when I say this. There are only 2 Black-owned natural parenting brick-and-mortar stores in the entire country that we know of. Now, we talk a lot about the importance of representation. So Donna immediately became our greatest supporter and cheerleader. She has encouraged us, supported us. She's actually fought quite a few of our battles, and there have been several over this first year, and she's become a valued friend. So she is more than backup, though. She is also a respected cloth diaper advocate. She works tirelessly for free for the cloth diaper community. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Donna Wallace of Black Women Do Cloth Diaper. Yay!
Yeah, I'm gonna cry.
That'll match the number of times we've cried over the last year.
Oh my goodness. You have given me entirely too much credit, but thank you so much.
No, ma'am.
No,
ma'am.
thank you. But for those who are not familiar, can you tell us a little bit about Black Women Do Cloth Diaper? What was the inspiration behind starting this movement?
I started Black Women Do Cloth Diaper because when I began cloth diapering my youngest child, my son, while I was doing my research, I was, I don't want to say disheartened. I was confused as to why I never saw any Black parents, Black babies, used in any of the marketing for any of the cloth brands, with the exception of one. And it was still kind of like, it didn't seem like it was marketed or geared towards Black parents. So I also didn't see any forums at that time specifically that were for Black parents that were cloth diapering. There were a ton of cloth diaper forums. There just were none specifically for us, and in the forums that were established, or the groups, or the brand fan groups, you didn't see Black faces.
Right.
Like, we stuck out like sore thumbs, because if you saw another Black face, it was like, where'd you come from?
Let's talk about that for just 1 second. I want to interrupt there because I want to make sure that our listeners and viewers understand the importance of that. For a minority, if you see an ad or something like that and you don't see people that look like you, your first thought is, that's not for me.
Absolutely.
And unless you have that kind of attitude or mindset like Lauren and I do, where I don't care, we coming in anyway.
Yeah.
Then you tend to say, okay, well then I guess I won't do that because that's not for
Absolutely.
us. And that's why we continue to say representation matters. You have to be able to see yourself, whether it's cloth diapering, baby wearing, breastfeeding, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
It's in the natural parenting world. We're doing those things, but we need to see other people doing. That's encouragement. That's support.
Right.
And that's what keeps you saying, okay,
Absolutely.
I'm this is for me.
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, all of that is true, and was the almost the exact reason, which I could have done a group, but at that time I was like, a group, you have to moderate it, you have to accept it. I'm just going to do a fan page. It's all public. Just see who else, and I really just wanted to see who else was Black and called diapering, and I was like so shocked within, I wouldn't even say a week or two, the page was at over 1,000 likes.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, whoa, where are all of you at in these forums and these groups? And if there's all of these black cloth diapering parents, why aren't any of you guys using the marketing or the advertisements or, you know, like what's going on? And I soon realized that the lack of black faces in cloth diaper marketing advertisements in the community, it was not by mistake. It was actually by perfect design. It was purposeful, in my opinion.
Okay.
So I figured we need to have this space where, if for nothing else, we will take care of our own. Those other spaces showed themselves to be unsafe for black parents in so many ways. At that point, using certain diaper brands was frowned upon, and it just so happens that those diaper brands would be, of course, more favorable to low-income families.
Right.
And you know, it wasn't a good look in the quote unquote mainstream cloth community.
So what kinds of? I'm sorry. What kinds of changes have you seen since? Well, tell us first of all, what year was that?
This was 2014.
Okay, so in the last 4 years, what changes have you seen in cloth diapering in general, not only in the black community, but as a whole, in the natural parenting community?
Man. I say all the time, just sometimes in my quiet space, I am so unbelievably proud. We launched a war against the mainstream cloth community. Initially, we were about inclusion.
Right.
And initially, like, that was my biggest thing. Hey, we're here too.
Right, right.
And when I realized that for real, they didn't care if we were there or not, my focus kind of shifted to just us.
Okay.
That we didn't need to be included anywhere because we can create and foster, advocate. We can do all of this ourselves in our community. But in that time frame, there were a lot of diaper brands that are popular that stepped up to the call out. And you did begin to see many brands very quickly change their marketing strategies, change the faces and the babies, and you would see more black babies and black parents, black dads, different family dynamics. You would see those things slowly over time, you know, roll out. It was pretty dope.
So how do you introduce black faces without appearing to be patronizing or something like that? I mean, there seems to be, in listening to you, I would think that would be a very delicate thing, because you wouldn't want to come off as, oh, they just did that because Donna was screaming. But how do you do that? How did that happen?
What? Say it one more time for me.
I'm asking the question. It seems to me that a diaper brand that had previously only advertised using white babies, now all of a sudden they do an ad with a black baby. How do they do that without seeming patronizing to the black community? How do they do that without saying, okay, I just buckled under Donna's pressure and
had a token.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word. And before you answer that, we have a comment from Bianca Norman. She says, I'm a Latina with a multiracial family. Black women do cloth diaper group and page have been an important part of our family's cloth diaper journey. So you're reaching minorities in general, not just black folks. So I want to make that clear. Thanks, Bianca.
And that's the thing. Initially, we would say a community for people of color with a focus and an emphasis on black families.
Okay.
And as she stated, you know, we have so many. You would be surprised how many people and different ethnic backgrounds like make up Black Women Do Cloth Diaper. But our focus will forever be on black families, black children.
Okay.
But as far as the brands that were primarily white and then switched, and started offering whatever. I mean, there were some of them, I'm not going to sit and lie. Some of them, yeah, they did it because I came for their necks. And not in really a nice way.
We know.
But the ends justify the means. Almost. Almost. But for most of the brands, they really kept it. They were transparent.
Right.
Like, you know what? We hear what you're saying. We see what you're, we see the issue. And going forward, we're making this change.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it's easy to not even realize that what you're doing is all white or it's not inclusive of other nationalities, other ethnicities. I think that's easy to do.
Absolutely,
I
especially
know
when that's what you're surrounded by.
Exactly, and
that was really the angle. That was the angle then, like in 2014. That was really like we didn't start off with we're going to show black people or else. No. It didn't start off like that. It was kind of like a feel out, see what's going on here. Okay, I understand why so-and-so doesn't have any black babies because clearly most of their consumer base looks like who they're marketing to.
Right. So they thought because they didn't know we were here. Correct?
And they didn't know that we were here. Oh my gosh, there's layers to this. They didn't know that black parents were in these communities because 99% of the time, black parents were sitting in these communities watching microaggressive behavior, watching, undercover racist conversations being had, just a slew of things were taking place where parents are sitting in these regular schmegular cloth communities like, I'm here because I want the information, but I don't want to comment. I don't want to post because I can't identify with these people.
Right. And you don't know what response you're going to get. Yeah, we deal with that even
today.
But
we soon found out because approximately this was 2014, around the time that I don't even want to give him any airplay. You know that dude who didn't go to prison for killing Trayvon Martin. Around the time that verdict came out, things really got hectic, even in the white-centered natural parenting community. Because there were black parents that we were having these conversations amongst us, but they were having their conversations, and it got to a point where I think nobody was going to stay quiet anymore.
Right.
Around that time, the Black Lives Matter diaper was released, or produced and released, and it was a whole situation,
I can see that.
A lot of people's true colors came out, whether it be, the owners of certain brands, allowing certain things to be said and done in their form. Like the tide definitely changed around 2015. And I think there was a great kind of divide around that time. And I think that black parents in the cloth diapering community really maybe said, you know what, we're not doing this anymore. We're not going to be the passive ones. We're not just going to sit in these communities dormant and let people say and do anything. And people became a lot more vocal.
Right.
And it didn't sometimes go over too well.
It's interesting. It is interesting the divide, as you called it, in the cloth diapering community, and I don't even know that if people are really aware of it. I think as a black woman, I'm definitely aware of it, especially with our store, the things that we faced even the decision whether or not to carry that particular diaper, Black Lives Matter. You know, it's just so touchy. We don't want to alienate anybody. We
Right.
don't want anybody to form an opinion about us just for carrying a particular diaper. So we've had to be really careful. But we've noticed that there really is a divide. I mean, there are Black pages and there are white pages. And if you're part of a white page, you generally are really, you know, on the down low. I'm observing, but I'm not commenting because our views tend to differ. And it is sad because it's that way, not just in the cloth diaper community, but everywhere. And I guess I should say it includes the cloth diaper community because that's the way it is everywhere, sadly. But we don't.
I'm okay with it, though. I'm completely okay with it. And I guess I'm okay with it because the days of where we didn't have an alternative are over. We have some place to be. And, you know, Black Women Do Cloth Diaper is probably the most, I guess, popular.
Right, clearly.
But there are so many different Black-centered closet diapering groups. I can't think of any names off the top of my head. Breastfeeding, but you know, there are so many Black-centered communities that what I have refused to do for probably the past couple of years is even engage in those other groups, unless I'm scoping out another Black parent.
Right. Okay. Now, for our listeners and viewers, the entire 2 hours is not going to be. It's not going to be a racial topic. But it's important. And we did want to start with this. We wanted to have a conversation about why Black Women Do Cloth Diaper is an important page, not just for the Black community, but for the natural parenting community. Because as Black folks get on board with cloth diapering and other natural parenting things, that just helps the entire community.
Yeah, it really does. And it is an important conversation to have, as uncomfortable as it might be. You know, for some, it's important to really, really understand why these spaces are so important.
Right. Okay, so Donna, can you tell us about some of the things that Black Women Do Cloth Diaper has done in the community, be it the Black community or the natural parenting community as a whole? And I think any work that you do in the Black community, again, helps the natural parenting community.
Absolutely.
You know, when we speak of Black Women Do Cloth Diaper, we speak of, you know, over 20,000 people worldwide. Because each and every parent that is involved in Black Women Do Cloth Diaper is Black Women Do Cloth Diaper. So we have had community-based initiatives that have branched off where you have people that are teaching classes. I believe there is someone who actually did a small, you know, loan program. I think everybody in the community at some point has loaned, advocated, participated in programs participated with programs like WIC to show cloth diapering as a you know, option for low income Black families. We've done some conventions. I don't really like to take the credit for a lot of stuff, y'all, because it takes a village.
It does. It does indeed. But you have done some
good
work.
It really takes a village, even with you guys and Crunchy Boutique. Like I try to tell you all the time, I don't think you know how necessary and important that is.
And it's so funny that you say that, because when I tell the story, you know, we just appreciate you. And I you know, my grandmother always said you're supposed to say thank you. So I make it a point to say thank you regularly, because if it had not been for Black Women Do Cloth Diaper, we would not have opened an online store.
Yeah,
that's a fact. Because when we opened, we said we were not going to do online.
Absolutely not.
We were here for our local community, period. We were not interested at all. But when we had a couple fights that you fought for us, and people started texting us and emailing us and messaging us saying,
before we had the online store, we started taking orders just using PayPal.
Right, because people were saying, no, I need to buy from you. So we appreciate that. You know, you've helped us tremendously, and we do appreciate that. And I had a thought a point before that, and I'll be 55 next month, so my memory is going. It'll come back to me.
It's okay.
Okay, but you know what? It's actually a good time for us to take a break.
Yes, so we'll be back right after this song.
What it is, what it's gonna be, no, I can't call it. All I know is I had to step up, speed it up, cut the chase, go in for first place before the other cats try to get ya. Moving them hips, killing me with every trip, girl. You about to get a tip to it, girl. The worst that goes down is you turn me down, but this time around I'm down and shine. Hey, how you doing? Oh, baby, what you getting into? I don't know what your name is or who you came with, but I ain't leaving without you. I've never seen nothing like you. It's a body that shape is your claim to fame, and girl, I ain't leaving without you. No. I want your body. Yeah. Oh, what you drink, what you sip? I got the next round. Martini or goose now. Tell me what's up. Conversation my eyes is having with your thighs. Don't get me out of line, they better shut up. You're moving them hips, killing me with every tip, girl. You about to get a tip to it. The worst that goes down is you turn me down. You're feeling your boy now, so I doubt it, shorty. Hey, how you doing? Baby, what you getting into? I don't know what your name is or who you came with. I ain't leaving without you. Hey girl, how you doing? I've never seen nothing like you. Cause a body that shape is your claim to fame. And girl, I ain't leaving without you. No. I want your body. Your body. Oh yeah. Hey. I want your body. Your body. Jeans love, they fit your love. What's with your love? Love to get to know you better. Let's go somewhere, anywhere. I don't care, long as we can ride together. One more sip, wet your lips. We can dip. I slip that tip to violate. Doors up, full halogen. Yep, she modeling. I just had to say, hey. How you doing? Baby, what you getting into? Oh, girl, I ain't leaving without you. Hey, girl, how you doing? I've never seen nothing like you. Cause a body that shape is your claim to fame. Girl, I ain't leaving without you. Hey, baby, what's that in your cup? You need to let me fill that up. You know I'm trying to see what's up with you. Hey, girl, and I ain't thinking about you, man. It should have held you by the hand. Cause I'm your number one fan. I ain't living without you. Hey, how you doing?
Gotta turn the microphone up. We are back with Donna Wallace of Black Women Do Cloth Diaper. And I believe my mom remembered what she was going to ask you or tell you, Donna.
Charge it up to the source. Okay. One of the things when I started down that road of you're responsible for our online store, what I was going to say, I say all the time when I tell the story of how we met you and how you encouraged us, is that you continue to send messages that just says, sis, you don't understand. Mm-hmm. We would get messages. I went back through my messages on Instagram, and over again, that's what you said. Sis, you just don't understand how important it is for you all to succeed. And that's what we appreciate. So, we don't want to stay there forever, but I did want to say that. So, yeah, we appreciate you. And sis, we still trying to understand. We're learning new lessons every day.
For sure.
Every day.
For sure.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
So let's talk about the so-called China cheapies. Can we
wait. I'm sorry. Wait, hold that thought. Oh. Before you do that, there were a couple comments that I wanted to read. Diamond Redden said, when I first started cloth diapering, I didn't see any black parents. Black women do cloth diaper was like coming home. Then she said that Donna has helped me start teaching my cloth diaper class and loan program in Newark, New Jersey. And then Haley says, I love supporting your business, but what else, if anything, can I do to help get cloth diapering out there for black families? So that's kind of a double for you, if you want to comment on.
As far as Diamond is just one of the many, dynamic people in the community who saw a need in her own community and acted upon that. And to date, she has, it is just amazing. It's an each one teach one situation for us. And the success of the program that she started and the work that she does is just amazing.
And to speak to Haley's comment, there have been a couple times I know that parents have come to you saying their stash was lost somehow. I think somebody during Hurricane Harvey, a couple people lost their stashes during Hurricane Harvey. There was somebody in particular that I don't remember what the circumstances were, but you kind of did a SOS. Can anybody help?
Yeah.
And you had people just send diapers to you so you could get them to the family. So that's a good work.
And there were so many companies that took part in that. I think we did something. Yeah, around Hurricane Harvey, where it was basically like, there's families in need right now, and Smart Bottom stepped up, Abby's Lane stepped up, Cotton Baby stepped up, Thirsty, like so many, Fluff Love and Cloth Diaper Science, their community. When we kind of launched that challenge, other brands and communities jumped on board.
And I think it's important to acknowledge that, for a company to step forward and to donate like that that's really an awesome thing.
It is.
We have had the support of so many companies over the year. It is amazing. Whether it just be, hey guys, we want to do a giveaway. Hey guys, there's someone in need. They have backed us. They have backed us. There are so many. We see the underbelly of the cloth world, but that does not overshadow the awesome things that take place in the cloth community.
Right, right. Okay, so now we're going to go to Lauren's question again.
Yes, the China cheapies.
Let's talk about, and we're only saying that because we know that that's what people know them by. We do not call them China cheapies at Crunchy Boutique.
No, we call them by their names, which, I use Sun Babies personally.
When I started cloth diapering, and I tell this story to most people, just to drive home the point that cloth doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. I got secondhand used cloth diapers from someone who had used them on her twins, and they were Alva brand. That was my first experience with cloth diaper. Cloth diaper was Alva brand, used Alvas, used Cotton Babies, used Charlie Bananas, used Kauai. I think a Rumparoo's was in there. But what I found to be the least expensive at that point was the Alva brand. And so, like anybody else, because we are in the age of social media, when you start to do something, you want to connect with other people that do it. You find groups on Facebook.
Right.
So I was in a lot of groups on Facebook, about cloth diapering, and I kept noticing that brands that were not manufactured in the USA, or that that were manufactured specifically in China, they were referred to as China cheapies. And I mean, that was the common name for them. They never really called them by the brand.
Yeah.
Well, they called them just across the board China cheapies. And at that point, and this was again in 2014, I saw parents kind of being shamed for using these brands. Now, mind you, the price point of these brands most cloth diaper brands that are based in the USA, or that are quote unquote more popular, they have a higher price point. We're talking about $25 a piece.
Yeah.
Right.
20 to $25 a piece, give or take. These Alva diapers are $5 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking about cloth diapering to save money,
Yeah.
$5 looks real good when you're kind of broke, you know? And so I saw, these parents being shamed, all these negative things being said about this diaper brand, these diaper brands. And it was like, wow. From the aspect of a black person, seeing these Caucasian people kind of dig into this, particular brand of diapers solely because they were manufactured outside of the United States. It was like, wait a minute, there's something wrong here. And they used to say, oh, these diapers are bad for your babies because they don't have the same lead testing and standards as we do here in the U.S. and this, that, and the third. It was like a lot of fear mongering. And I am proud to say that Black Women Do Cloth Diaper is probably the first community that publicly said, but y'all lying though. But y'all lying. Nobody's baby is put at risk for lead because you're using a $5 diaper that was manufactured in China.
Well, and the reality is that most of them come from China.
Yeah.
That's the gag, sis. That's the tea. And see, when Black Women Do Cloth Diapers started spilling the tea, which is your fave is actually manufactured outside of this country. They just started manufacturing in the U.S. Or your fave is still being manufactured in a, Asian country. Hey, explain that.
Right.
Then it kind of moved from the fear mongering about the stricter lead testing and safety aspect to, buy American because, it's more ethical and patriotism and all this other jazz. And then we were still like, but you still lying though. Because if we want to talk about ethics in cloth diapering, like, do we really want to talk about that? So we kind of, I feel like we made it okay. We made it okay to be proud about using a brand of diaper that works for your financial situation, that you didn't have to feel ashamed. You didn't have to, because you couldn't afford a $25 or $30 diaper, you didn't have to settle for, a brand print from a brand, that was more expensive, but this was their lower price option. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Which is
so we were like,
important.
you know what, girl, you better, dad, mom, grandma, you better go buy that $5 Alva and flaunt it.
Yeah.
We did that.
Yeah.
And look who was flaunting a China cheapie of a month or so ago.
Who?
Serena
Williams.
Williams. Serena Williams.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? Again, I don't think you understand. I screamed, y'all. When I say I screamed. And again, this is 4 years in the making. 4 years in the making, because I guarantee you 4 years ago, it was like kind of, you got to be on the kind of hush-hush, because if it's not made in the U.S., then, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and as a retail store, we have kind of, I'll say we've been bullied.
Yeah.
We've been bullied into... We've been bullied. We were told that...
That's accurate.
We were told that we couldn't carry a particular brand as long as we carried China cheapies. So we said, well, I guess we won't be carrying that brand.
Yeah. Which is so
and
terrible.
Don't get it twisted. Publicly, a lot of people have fallen off of that because, again, Black Women Do Cloth Diapers spilled the tea. They don't care about ethics. They don't care about safety. This was about money. This
Exactly.
was about competition.
Clearly.
Yep.
Clearly.
Yeah. And
So if you could buy a $5 diaper, why would you buy a $25 diaper?
And I think it really just depends on your motivation behind cloth diapering.
Absolutely.
If it's about saving money, of course you're going to get the most bang for your buck, which only makes the most sense. And I mean,
and let's,
just
wait a minute, and let's not forget that everybody is not, everybody's finances aren't the same.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we know Serena got money.
yeah,
Serena has money, and she still chose an Alva.
right.
Right.
Which is so true. And just speaking honestly, the main reason why my stash is so diverse, I mean, I have Sun Babies, Thirsties, Rumparoos, other brands like that, is quite honestly because I have a retail store. You mean
Yeah.
that's just being honest. Not everybody is in that position to get
Right,
the kind
right.
of price point that I get. So I mean, I could absolutely see, if I wasn't in this position, I would probably have a lot more Sun Babies, a lot more secondhand
Right,
diapers and things like that, because the cost savings, I mean, that is a definite, motivational factor for me for cloth diapering. I do also like the fact that it is better for the environment, but if I'm being honest again, the number one is the cost savings.
And really, truly,
Absolutely.
people should be able to make their own,
Right.
make up their own mind about their motivation.
Right.
And we are fine with people who come in and say, I need the cheapest diaper you have. Or people will come in and say, I need the most natural diaper
Yeah.
you have. Others will
Right.
say, I need the most beautiful diaper you
Yeah.
have.
Yeah, everybody
Others will
has,
say,
yeah.
I need a diaper that was made by hand by a black woman. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had it all, and we
Yeah.
want to make sure that we have, that we can provide for whatever the need is, and we're definitely not shaming anybody about any of those reasons.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that will spend upwards of $50 or more on a diaper. And
I've done it.
Yeah,
I'm guilty of that.
Yeah,
and again, in the big scheme of this conversation, I'm guilty of that. At the peak of my cloth diapering, I probably had over 150 diapers. I had a lot of diapers. For one reason, I was an advocate, but I had an addiction.
She had a problem.
I had a whole addiction. And some of my custom diapers, I probably, my husband can't hear this, can he? I spent a little something on diapers, but I was able to do so. But I love the fact that, like you said, and this, you just, once again, you stated exactly why Crunchy Boutique is so necessary specifically to our community, because you're not going to, you can come to Crunchy Boutique and you can get a $5 diaper or you can get a $50 diaper.
Exactly.
And anything in between. There is no discrimination.
And we're not bowing to pressure.
Yeah. It's just important not to feel shamed over something like that. I mean,
Absolutely.
parents are shamed over countless things. And it's
Yeah.
like, let's not add this to the list.
I mean, seriously, it's a diaper. It's a diaper.
And that's really, I think one of the things that I love about our community, while cloth diapering is what has brought us together, there are so many other aspects of parenting that are discussed. Just being okay and secure in your choices and not feeling shamed and having support in all of your choices. There are parents that are part of Black Community Cloth Diaper that don't even cloth diaper.
Right. And
They're really just there for the community.
Right. And in hopes of one day cloth diapering. I know a lot of people come to us and they say they just want to look around because they're thinking they may have a child
They're
at some
thinking
point.
about it. Yeah, the seed is planted.
Right. Okay. Well, it's almost time for us to take another break. But before we do, we would like to give a shout out to Crunchy Boutique while we're on the subject of Crunchy Boutique, the natural parenting store in Arlington, Texas, and online. You can find Crunchy Boutique on Instagram at crunchy_boutique, on Facebook at Crunchy Boutique TX, or visit the website at crunchyboutique.net. Crunchy Boutique is your source for all things natural parenting. That's cloth diapers, baby carriers, breastfeeding supplies, breastfeeding support, and a whole lot more. Be sure to follow Crunchy Boutique on social media so that you can keep up on what's going on. And now we will take that break. We will be back with Donna Wallace of Black Women Do Cloth Diaper right after this break.
Don't have to be beautiful to turn me on. I just need your body, baby, from dusk till dawn. You don't need experience to turn me on. You just leave it all up to me. I'm gonna show you what it's all about. You don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be cool to rule my world. Ain't no particular sign I'm more compatible with. I just want your extra time and your kiss. You got to not talk dirty, baby. And if you won't impress me, you can't be too flirty, mama. I know how to undress me. Yeah, I wanna be your fantasy. Maybe you could be mine. You just leave it all up to me. We could have a good time. Don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be cool, rule my world. Ain't no particular sign I'm more compatible with. I just want your extra time and your kiss, yes. I think this. Women like girls rule my world. I said they rule my world. At your age, mama, not your shoe size. Maybe we could do the twirl. You don't have to watch Dynasty to have an attitude. You just leave it all up to me. My love will be your fool. Yeah, you don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be cool to rule my world. I love that ridiculous stuff. Look at that. I just want your extra time and your kiss. I got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl, what's happening? You and your invited, so gonna get to clapping. Go pop a phone, play, pop it for me. Turn around and drop it for a plan. Drop it for me. I'll rent a beach house in Miami. Wake up with no jammies. Lobster tail for dinner. Julio served that scampi. You got it if you want it. Got it if you want it. Said you got it if you want it. Take my wallet if you want it now. Jump in the Cadillac. Girl, let's put some miles on it. Anything you want, just to put a smile on it. You deserve it, baby. You deserve it all. And I'm gonna give it to you. Gold jewelry shining so bright. Strawberry champagne on us. Lucky for for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. I love fire at night. Silk sheets and diamonds, all white. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. I'm talking trips to Puerto Rico. Say the word and we go. You can be my flica. Girl, I'll be a flico, mamacita. I would never make a promise that I can't keep. I promise that your smile ain't gonna never leave. Shopping sprees in Paris. Everything 24 carats. Take a look in that mirror. Now tell me who's the fairest. Is it you? Is it you? Is it me? Is it me? Say it's us. And I'll agree, baby. Jump in the Cadillac. Girl, let's put some miles on it. Anything you want, just to put a smile on it. You deserve it, baby. You deserve it all. And I'm gonna give it to you. Gold jewelry shining so bright. Strawberry champagne on us. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. I love fire at night. Silk sheets and diamonds, all white. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. You say you want a good time. Well, here I am, baby. Here I am, baby. Talk to me, talk to me, tell me what's on your mind. If you want it, girl, come and get it. All this is here for you. Tell me, baby, tell me, baby, what you tryna do? Gold jewelry shining bright. Strawberry champagne on us. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. I love fire at night. Silk sheets and diamonds on us. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like.
We are back with Donna Wallace of Black Women Do Cloth Diaper, and now we wanted to talk about some cloth diaper basics with you. So, can you, for people that are cloth diapering novices, people that are interested, never done it before, how how do you cloth diaper? I know it's such a loaded question.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I tell most people, because that's probably the most common question we get, aside from how do we buy.
Right.
When people hear cloth diaper now, the facial expressions I get to someone who is kind of foreign to the whole thing is hilarious. Because they automatically think of like pins and like towels. And don't get me wrong, those are still in heavy rotation.
Yeah.
It's changed dramatically. I believe the modernized cloth diaper system was introduced probably like 15, 16 years ago at this point. So now, cloth diapers have snaps, they have Velcro. Some of them are size, some of them are one size. So the how-to really depends on what's best for you and your, your situation, what's easiest.
Right.
For me, I was a huge fan of the all-in-one system. The all-in-one system, everything is attached to the diaper. You don't have to take anything off. You don't have to put anything on. It most closely mimics a disposable diaper. And then, you have the option of snaps or Velcro or hook and loop, depending upon the brand and what they choose to call it. But for me, it was snaps all the way. I loved all-in-one with snaps. And I loved one-size diapers. Now, one size, the term one-size diaper can be so misleading because not every brand is made the same. Not all the sizing, the cut, not every brand is cut the same.
Right.
So you kind of have to find which brand suits your baby best. He was chunky. My son was so chunky. He had no neck, lots of rolls. He was fat. So some brands, you know, the fit wasn't as good as other brands that accommodated, you know, had more size to them. Now, bear in mind, there's still one-size diapers, and with one-size diapers, those diapers can basically be used from birth through potty training, not just to potty training, but through potty training.
Okay. Are you still there?
So I would say, yeah, I'm here. I would
Sorry.
say find what works best for you. You know, I was a lazy cloth diapering parent. I didn't want to do a whole lot of folds with pre-folds and snappies, and, you know, I really wanted to keep it as simple as possible.
Right.
So for me, you know, that was a diaper that had everything attached, and that I could adjust the snaps on it to fit how big he was, or when he was smaller, you know, how small he was. And that's what I went with. But there are so many different systems, so many different, you know, diapering options. There's literally something for everyone.
Yep.
And, you know, that brings to mind a neat campaign that you do regularly, which is Show Your Cloth Ways. And you've had people show pictures of cloth diapering their babies with T-shirts and dish towels. And it really proves the point that you really can diaper your child with anything. Once you get the basics down and you understand that, you know, as long as you have some kind of cover or whatever it is, you know, maybe not a cover.
I always tell people that come into Crunchy Boutique and they'll ask me, you know, what kind of diaper should I get? I always say you need to try different things, because you may get, you know, all pre-folds, and you find you don't like that, or all in ones, and you decide you want to try something else. You never know what you're going to like, what's going to work best for your baby. So yeah, definitely try a lot of different options.
And I always suggest with that, and it kind of brings us back to, I always suggest buy low first. Start off with an inexpensive diaper. Because if for some reason, and I know this is just unfathomable, if for some reason cloth just is not for you, you haven't spent $300, and now you have to kind of struggle to resell them.
And you know what? That's and you said it's unfathomable. We have so many people that come in and say, I'm not cloth diapering anymore, or I did it for X period of time and I don't anymore. So there are people that try it and just decide it's not for them. And, you know, we understand that.
Yeah, which is understandable. You know, obviously there's no shaming here.
And don't you guys have a consignment program?
We do, and it does really well, because of the people that, you know, they just want to try cloth diapering out first without spending that big upfront cost. So buying secondhand, buying consignment is a definite. That's a good option.
Yeah, we sell them we sell quite a few of them on consignment.
Yeah, and it's really dope to have that in one place side by side. You know, you can come in to a store, or you can go online and order, you know, from a reputable source, because buying and selling and trading in groups, you know, there's some risk there.
Yeah.
And Robin Carter commented, she said, when I first started, I used receiving blankets only, no cover or anything. She said she got so tired of her daughter breaking out from disposable diapers. So,
yeah, you can cloth diaper with anything. You really can.
We have a lot of parents. We have a lot of parents who have decided to cloth diaper, not just, you know, because of the environmental reasons or because of the financial reasons, but because their children simply could not use disposables. There are so many. It's hard for me to kind of go into this, because I don't want to do the whole fear thing. But the fact of the matter is, and this was really highlighted in an initiative launched by the owner of Cotton Babies. She challenged basically the federal government to disclose to parents exactly what is in a disposable diaper. The exact full ingredient or materials list of what is in a disposable diaper, because as of date, these companies don't have to.
Right.
They're not required to tell you exactly what's in these diapers. So when you have a parent that's like, my baby has a rash from using this particular brand, and there's no way to pinpoint what material or what in the diaper caused the rash because you don't know, and they don't have to disclose it.
Yeah,
That's
So
crazy.
that's one of the many perks of cloth. When using cloth diapers, there is no question as to exactly what's going against your child's skin.
Right. Yeah.
If and some babies are sensitive to, and they can't use microfiber, for instance, or micro suede. So okay, I can steer away from those style of cloth diapers and only use natural fibers like hemp or cotton. You have that peace of mind.
Yeah.
That you know exactly what's going against your child's skin.
So let's talk some about diaper brands. And I guess this may be like a big old commercial as we name some. But I would like to discuss some of the brands, some of the larger brands, and then some of the minority-owned brands, some women-owned brands. Just some of the brands that we may not have ever heard of, in addition to some of the bigger brands. Some of your favorites, perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about brands.
So where do you want to start off? Which group?
I know I named so much.
Let's start with your favorites.
Oh man. Whoa. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, so I'm about to get my black card revoked. Y'all gonna get me in trouble today, boy. I love my people. I do. But I cannot lie. I'll lie. No, I've been lying, y'all. Because if anybody else asks me, I'm gonna tell you a black brand. I don't care which one it is. But for the sake of this show and transparency, my favorite cloth diaper brand was Cotton Baby.
Okay. Shout out to Cotton Babies.
It was Cotton Babies because for me, the construction was amazing. The quality for me was amazing. The price point was just right. The bulk of my cloth diaper stash at any given time was definitely Cotton Babies brand or Bum Genius diapers. A close second and third, Rumparoos and Smart Bottoms.
Okay.
Rumparoos and Thirsties. Thirsties was dope too. But of the, oh my gosh, why y'all?
We didn't mean to put you on the spot, but we know you know all about the different brands. And I won't ask you your least favorite. I'm not asking that question. So I will definitely. No. I know you have an answer for that. That's why I'm not asking that question. I know the top three.
Man, listen.
No. Okay, let's reel it on back. Bring it on back.
All right, y'all. We won't do that today. It's a Monday. Okay.
Okay. So let's talk about some minority-owned brands.
You know what? I'm so glad we're going into that, and I'm so glad we steered away from my least favorite. But I have to tell you what's hilarious. We have a nickname we call them Voldemort. We call them Voldemort off of Harry Potter.
Yes.
Well, nobody says the name. Nobody talks about it.
Yeah. We actually have a couple brands that we could call that too. not necessarily diaper brands, but just brands in general. Yeah.
Look, it's so funny because when somebody new joins the community, we have people. It was a post like maybe a week ago, and this mom had just joined the community, and she was like, "Hey y'all, hey family, da 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 da." She wrote the post, and the picture she attached was nothing but that brand.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was afraid you were gonna slip and call the name.
Look, everybody was like, "You must be new here." She was like, "What? What I do?"
That's funny. But you catch on fast.
Minority-owned brands. My favorite minority-owned brand right now is Nappy Buns. Nappy Buns is doing their thing. Beautifully constructed diapers. Sis is amazing. Customer service, she's a dope person, and she's making dope diapers for the culture.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's talk about some minority-owned brands. Some of your favorites. I know you have a couple. Any others? Minority owned, woman owned.
There's Pooter baby diapers. I hope she's still in business. Pooter's diapers.
Oh, love
my God,
Pooters.
Pooter's diapers.
Love Pooters.
Amazing. And she's coming out with a new line of diapers. As a matter of fact, it's like a super soaker overnight something. I don't know, but I'm ready for it.
She already has a super soaker, so she has something better than what she already has.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, her diapers are amazing, and she's local to the Dallas area too. So when we've met her, she's she's great.
Yeah.
Who else? There's Mojo Baby Co. is black owned. Lily Poofs is black owned. There are there's like 2 or 3 that are kind of new that are on Instagram. I can't think of the names off the top of my head because, I'm me and I'm completely like unprepared for it.
And we have to mention Shine Cloth, and then somebody mentioned Lovely Cloth.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely Cloth, amazing. Yeah, she's dope. And Lovely Cloth not only does cloth diapers, she does Mama Cloth, I believe.
Yeah, I knew that name sounded familiar. Okay, I think I've seen it for the Mama Cloth.
Okay.
Lovely Cloth does Mama Cloth too.
Yeah.
Who else sells diapers? There's so many.
And for us, the difficulty, I know a lot of times we'll want to carry some of those diapers, and because they're making them at home, themselves, they tend to be cost prohibitive for us to carry them in the store. So usually people have to buy directly from them because we just can't afford to carry them.
Mm-hmm.
We tried.
And that's another thing that people don't kind of understand. At one point, I was really, really close with a person who owned.
Oh, Cooper Rose. We didn't mention Cooper.
Mom.
I'm sorry. We didn't mention Cooper Rose.
Cooper Rose. Yes, this is in Atlanta, I think. Again, just amazing diapers for the and that's one thing about the black-owned cloth diaper brands. You get something from these brands and from these, parents that are it's you can't get it anywhere else.
Right.
They make cloth diaper products with your baby specific, your culture, our culture specifically in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a lot of people who, the price is too high. It takes too long and this, that, and third. There's so many factors that you have to realize. These most of them, not everybody, most cloth diaper brands that are, working home moms and not manufactured, they're doing this by themselves on a sewing machine.
Right.
Each stitch is all them. That's it's priceless.
Right.
So big shout out to all the working home moms who are on the needles, black working home moms who are on the needles making these items and these products that are just for us.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm gonna mention my absolute favorite diaper right now, just from the design, and that's the Finesse by Shine Cloth, which I think is
beautiful,
a gorgeous diaper.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, let's move on to let's move on and talk about what's next for Black Women Do Cloth Diaper.
Oh wow, over the course of it'll be 4 years in August. Man, sis, we have seen so much growth, not just behind the scenes, but in the community. We've had people come and go. We have had people that have literally tried to dismantle everything that we do. And we not only, stood tall through all of it, we came out bigger and better on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, I think the biggest project that we're working on, and we have been working on this for quite some time, is getting a real deal natural parenting convention for us.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting that you bring that up. I'm gonna touch on that just for a second because it goes back to why Black Natural Parenting Convention. Every time we put Black in front of anything, that's always a question. Understandably, because if you are not if you've not experienced some of the things we've experienced, you don't understand why. So I'm gonna tell you why. Lauren and I went to a majority convention. I'll just say it that way, and. I went with my other daughter, Catherine. The three of us were we were three of maybe 10, 15.
That might be
Is this the same convention that I told y'all? Never mind.
Listen,
and quite honestly, 15 is probably an overestimate.
yeah, maybe 10. But so we were not represented. Representation matters, which made us immediately say, ooh, did we make a mistake? Were we not supposed to be here? Which is a terrible feeling. It's a terrible feeling. It's
a terrible feeling, and it's one that is so hard to accurately describe to somebody who's never felt that before.
Right.
And
So it's funny because every time we saw a Black person, they leapt for joy. They gave us a hug. We hugged.
We took pictures.
No kidding.
Like that scene in Poetic Justice at the barbecue, like cousins.
Exactly. And if Black Panther had come out before this particular,
we would all been doing Wakanda forever.
And we would have said, "Hey, Auntie."
Yeah.
But that's what it was like. So. Yeah. And it was just an uncomfortable feeling that you can't shake the whole time, and you feel eyes on you. You keep wondering, okay, maybe we should just go because you just never get that level of full comfort.
And we actually did end up leaving early. We left, hours and hours before it ended, just because it was just so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And it was bland, y'all. It's okay. You could say it was bland.
It was.
It was like they potato salad.
Stop it. And so, you made me forget what I was going to say again. Oh, Lord have mercy. Help us, Jesus. Okay. But it is important. Representation does matter. And not only that, we have some important, some major things that are happening in our community that we have to talk about. Our show last week was we were talking about the Black and maternal mortality rate and the infant mortality rate. Those are important things, and that would be a part of anything that we did, as a community. We would have to have those conversations. So it is important. We've got things that are unique to us, the diaper designs, there are certain diaper designs that we would want that other people wouldn't even. Even something as simple as that. We've just got different issues that are not discussed at majority functions. So
what's so funny? And this is kind of going to loop around probably into segue into another conversation, but I came across an old Facebook post that I had written, and it was basically saying that my parenting journey looks nothing like yours. I can't relate. We cannot relate to each other, and that's okay. But what's not okay is us not having the ability to connect with each other, to, like you said, have these discussions. When unarmed Black men, women, and children are gunned down, we can't go into these forums or go to these conventions and find support for the range of emotions that takes place as a result of. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have to get that from each other,
right?
And while we can do it online, it's dope. But it would be something completely and totally different to be able to come into a building with a sea of our faces, babies on our backs, babies on our boobs, just and do our thing like a big family reunion, And then the other thing is, we like music and we like food. Like I said, that other stuff is bland. We need something with some trap music played.
Oh, my goodness.
That's my vision. That is my vision for a Black natural parenting convention. They might need some sage burning and some Erykah over here.
you got to have the grandmas in mind too. So we got to.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said Sage and Erykah Badu, and then we'll have Cardi B and Hennessy on the other side.
Yeah, but we might have to slip. We might have to slip some Stevie Wonder and Al Jarreau in there too for the grandmas. I'm just saying.
That's my vision for a Black natural parenting convention, like something like, what is it, like Curl Fest or, just something like that. It smells like shea butter and fresh pound cake and, all the awesomeness in the world.
Oh my goodness.
Hilarious. Okay, so let's talk more general cloth diapering. We talked a little bit about some of the benefits of cloth diapering, but let's talk also about let's talk about the benefits, because that'll cover what I have in my mind right now. If we just talk about the benefits, why? And we said that everybody has a different reason, but let's talk some about what some of those reasons are and what are the benefits of cloth diapering.
Cost. 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 I'm probably going to get drunk for filth if this is heavily watched by other people. I'm not going to lie to you. The environment was way at the bottom of the list for me. When I say way at the bottom of the list, I ignored that whole part, truthfully.
Yeah, and I think that's okay. Everybody has their own motivation. So
I completely ignored the environment, and I was like, wait a minute, you tell me I can spend $500 and not have to buy nothing else but detergent? What? I had 2 kids in diapers at the time. Okay. So I was like, ding, 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 ding. I'm doing that. My husband was a skeptic. He said, oh, no, you're not. Remember that time you said you were going to do this and you ain't even do it? I was like, all right, watch this. And sure enough, I didn't buy another diaper, pull up, nothing. We rocked the cloth all the way through. The fact that you can literally save thousands of dollars per child, that's not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
Unless you are like a super duper extreme couponer, the cost saving over time, it can't be denied.
Okay, so here's a question. As you say that, we get so many people that come in and say, I would cloth diaper, but I had a baby shower and I have disposable diapers up to the ceiling. How can we change that inclination to automatically get disposable diapers? How can we address that so that people would think to even ask the question first of all?
For parents or for baby showers?
For both.
Yeah.
For me, I'm me, and I have my own way of doing things, and I don't suggest anybody else follow my example because it works for me for some reason. I would have to be straight up. Don't buy me nothing paper or plastic. I don't. If you come through the door of my baby shower with Pampers, you get no cake.
I didn't go that far, but I did let people know that I was cloth diapering and that I was serious about it. So luckily nobody...
And it's a shame that you would have to say, listen, guys, I'm cloth diapering. I'm serious about it. Don't play me with Huggies. And I think it's such a foreign concept to so many people still outside of our, community. I tell people all the time, put them on your registry. Or just on your baby shower, announcement, be like, hey guys, we're not doing disposables.
Yeah.
But you can go here and get me, you kind of have to just tell people. And for those who still choose to buy disposables, just also say, look, if you are dead set on buying me disposables, give me the receipt.
Yeah, and somebody commented that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can do a combination of both, and we definitely understand that. We agree with that. For sure.
A lot of people that come into Crunchy Boutique they'll do a hybrid too.
Yeah.
So like when they're out and about, they'll use disposables or for different situations like that.
Yeah,
and I'm so glad somebody brought that point up because we are still fighting the good fight as far as daycare centers. Some people got to go to work.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of daycare centers that are still not, accepting of cloth diapers. And it breaks my heart when I see these stories. but it does not have to be all or nothing as far as daycare centers are concerned. Even cloth diapering at home or cloth diapering at night and using disposables for outings or daycare, you're still going to see that savings that savings over time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true. Not yet. Sorry, we're trying to get our questions together. So now we talked about the benefits of cloth diapering. Can you let us know what's next for Black Women Do Cloth Diaper? I know that you mentioned your goal of having
the convention.
Yeah,
that is probably the biggest thing that we're working on right now.
And somebody commented and said, "When is this happening?"
Listen, Linda. Do you know how hard it is to get Black women on the same page? Oh, wait a minute. I can't say that, can I? I'm just being honest. It is really, I don't want it to be something that's a knee-jerk reaction or just thrown together. So it might take a few years. But in the meantime, in between time, really just supporting, continuing to do what we've been doing, which is amplifying the platforms of smaller businesses, brands, people, community influencers. We have grown tremendously on our platform. You know, Instagram is like 25,000 followers. Facebook, 20-something thousand likes. I really want to continue to use our platform not only to advocate for us, but to, you know, showcase other platforms. There's so many different parent bloggers, mom bloggers, and they're, you know, people of color, lactation consultants. I get a question all the time: do you know a Black doula? Where are the Black doulas? Where are the Black midwives? I'm trying to find a Black lactation consultant. I'm trying to, you know, do you know a Black baby wearing expert? Kind of just continuing to use the popularity or the reach of our platform to give other people, you know, shine.
Right.
So we're going to take our last break of the day. I can't believe we're actually getting to the end of this. Time goes by so fast. But before we do that, we want to give a shout out to Crunchy Boutique, the natural parenting store in Arlington, Texas, and online. You can find Crunchy Boutique on Instagram at crunchy_boutique, on Facebook at Crunchy Boutique TX, or visit the website at crunchyboutique.net. Crunchy Boutique is your source for all things natural parenting, which is cloth diapers, baby carriers, breastfeeding supplies, breastfeeding support, and a whole lot more. Be sure to follow Crunchy Boutique on social media to keep on with the latest. And now we will take our break, and we'll be back with Donna Wallace of Black Women Do Cloth Diaper after this song.
Love was changing the minds, tender, while changing
We are back with Donna Wallace of Black Women Do Cloth Diaper. We have time for a couple more questions.
But before we do that,
Oh, yeah.
we have to acknowledge September, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
The real September.
And we were talking about what song. We were talking about what songs to play if we had a convention. See, Earth, Wind, and Fire needs to be in the mix.
Yeah.
For Grandma.
Yeah. So, Donna, can you share some of the coolest, funniest, or most unusual moments you've experienced as an advocate for cloth diapering?
Oh, that's a good one. This is a Miss America pageant. See.
You get 5 points for this question.
Okay, do one at a time. What was the first one?
Okay, maybe the coolest moment that you've experienced with the platform that you have.
Oh, man, the coolest moment. The coolest moment. Anytime I meet somebody, like I've actually ran into people. This was recently. I ran into people here. I was at work, and I work in a hotel.
Uh-huh.
And there was a sister in the lobby, and she was pregnant. And I advocate to anybody, anytime, anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I will run up on somebody in Walmart, like seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So I called her over and I was like, hey, how far along you? Congratulations. I was like, have you thought about cloth diapering? She was like, oh, yeah. I cloth diaper, and my friend over there, she cloth diapers. And I was like, oh, family.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys happen to know about Black Women Do Cloth diapers? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, hey. I was like, as a matter of fact, it was something along those lines, but somehow she was like, wait a minute, who are you? And I was like, oh, you don't know why. I started the community. Nobody important. She was like,
no
oh,
big
my
deal.
God. So I was like, I feel really bad because, we have such an extensive community. That was probably the coolest moment, like running into people that were part of the community.
Yeah.
And it was like happenstance.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now, what about the funniest or most unusual moment?
The funniest or most unusual? Okay. Truth moment.
Uh-huh.
The truth moment. A couple years ago, we did a convention. We did a natural parenting-based convention.
Uh-huh.
And we went out the night before.
Mm-hmm.
And people do not know this day, I was so drunk the next day at this parenting convention. Like, I had shades on probably half the time.
Uh-huh.
And we, our heart really wasn't in it. Truthfully, we met, it was probably the same experience you had.
Uh-huh.
Like, why are we here? I mean, we had a good time with the people that we knew, but as far as, like, new people and really furthering the mission of what we were doing, to get through it, I needed every last shot that I took the previous night.
Uh-huh.
So that was probably, like, a funny moment because to this day, people are probably like, wow, really, Donna? Yes. I was so hung over that day, like, I could not wait to get out of there. Couldn't wait.
Okay, so let's switch to other areas of natural parenting. I know that you are definitely a big cloth diaper advocate, but what kinds of things are you doing in other areas of the natural parenting community, if anything?
Amplifying other voices. Cloth diapering, I am a firm advocate of staying in my lane. A firm believer, I'm sorry. So cloth diapering is my lane. I breastfed, but I'm by no means a professional. I baby wear, but I am by no means a professional. So what I do is, if we have people that need that kind of information, if the people in those lanes are doing something they need, like to be amplified, supportive, that's what we're here for.
Okay.
So shout out to Diamond is big in baby wearing, breastfeeding. Lactivist, she's big in the Black breastfeeding community. Shout out to Breastfeeding in Color, Israel. She's both breastfeeding and baby wearing. There's something for everyone, and there's always somebody's stuff like to be shared. A lot of these programs. There's programs out there. Did you guys know? Like, there are so many programs out there that are based and created for us.
What are some of those programs?
Say that again?
What are some of those programs?
Oh, off the top of my head, World on My Shoulders. World on My Shoulders is a program initiated by a survivor of domestic violence, and she actively assists other people in those situations to get out. And the basis of that is, she had to literally escape with her on her back. She rapped and she ran. So that's an awesome organization. Again, Breastfeeding in Color. A lot of community-based things and programs and events in the D.C. area. We had in Newark. She just, I think she's still planning. I don't think she's had it yet.
Wait, Donna, I don't mean to interrupt. Something's happening with our connection. It's I don't know if you've changed locations or something, but it's a little okay. But while we address that, people are calling you out on your being drunk. Apparently, you said you had food poisoning.
What?
I said apparently when you were drunk, you told your roomies that you had food poisoning. They thought you had food poisoning.
Wait a minute.
Wait. We're not about to do this here. I'm just relaying the message.
It's nothing bad. Kima. I had food poisoning in Atlanta. I was drunk in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm talking about?
People will call you out for sure. For sure.
You see how they do? Do you see how they do?
Okay, but listen. Do you know anything about the percentage of families that cloth diaper today? Do you have any statistics, any numbers at all about the numbers where cloth diapering is concerned?
I do not. I absolutely do. What I can say is, with people gravitating towards an overall more healthy lifestyle, options like breastfeeding, cloth diapering, baby wearing, they are becoming more popular again.
Yeah, and it's funny too because it's funny. We definitely are seeing cloth diapers popping up in more places. I mean, Target sells cloth diapers. Babies R Us sold cloth diapers before they closed. I mean, they didn't always sell cloth diapers, so we're seeing them popping up everywhere, which is an indication that there's money to be made in this industry.
Yeah, and it seems more celebrities are doing it, which will only increase the popularity.
Too. I was just about to say that. I get so excited when specifically Black celebrities are breastfeeding, baby wearing, and cloth diapering because and a lot of people might take this wrong, but I used to say back in the day, if there was a Jordan on a cloth diaper, we'd be more inclined to do it.
For sure. For sure.
If there was a Gucci symbol on a cloth diaper, we might be more inclined to do it.
Sadly, that's true.
But to see other trendsetters in our community, rappers, people that are big in sports, in the entertainment industry, to see them doing these things, I mean, however, by any means necessary is how I feel at this point.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts or any takeaways that you want our listeners to know about you, about Black Women Do Cloth Diaper, or about just cloth diapering in general?
Goodness gracious, that is a loaded question. You know what? I am so appreciative. I am always humbled by the community. Again, I think I started this out, when I'm just in my quiet space, I scroll our feeds, I look at the conversations that are had, the interactions between parents. Just, most recently, I think one of the most beautiful acts I witnessed in our community. We as a community, a mom lost her child, and the community just kind of stepped up in support, and we supported through imagery, involving cloth.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just
I remember
dope.
that. I remember that. They were blue diapers, right?
Oh yeah.
Blue diapers, yeah.
Right. Yes, I saw that.
And while somebody may say, "Oh, that's nothing," that was just our way of saying, "Sis, all of us, we're here."
Mm-hmm.
And it was so dope. And it's things like that. Whether it be a mom who's going through a situation, she needs a couple dollars, or food, or diapers, or just a mom who needs to feel pretty today. Mm-hmm. Just the way that this community interacts with each other online and in person, it's just a beautiful thing to witness.
Let me ask a question.
So I am so appreciative of the community.
Let me ask a question that I don't think we covered, and if we did, forgive me. We had a question from a viewer that wants to know how can non-whites help get cloth diapers into the hands of the Black community, and that's really to me the question really is just sharing all natural parenting principles with the Black community, or welcoming the Black community into some of those things and making us feel like they're mainstream and not so unusual. But how can she help? That was a question that was asked.
How can a non-Black person help?
Yes.
Use your privilege. Open doors. Share programs. Sometimes it really is as simple as a share or a repost. Use your privilege, and whatever your heart leads you to do. I can't give you a handbook or a play-by-play because there's so much that can be done.
Yeah. We had somebody offer a suggestion. Diamond said that you can donate to legitimate Black nonprofits. That's a great step to take.
Absolutely. I think, and I don't have any numbers to support this at all, but based on comments that we've heard, I think one of the biggest barriers, and you've said this several times, one of the biggest barriers for Black people in cloth diapering is cost. Providing diapers that are affordable is important, and that's one of the things that we're standing firm on that. But introducing it, I guess, to people in general is just a good
knowledge, just knowing. Period. Again, each one teach one factor. I'm so the community. It's present. People get to see Black people cloth diapering. It's not some foreign concept. I just did a post the other day. Like, you don't have to be a quote unquote crunchy parent. You don't have to wear a label in order to cloth diaper.
No.
Anybody can do it.
And we say all the time, although our store is called Crunchy Boutique, that people define crunchiness for themselves. We're not defining it for you. And if you don't cloth diaper, that's fine. Yeah. If you don't breastfeed, that's fine. If you don't baby wear, that's fine. It's your own definition, and we're not shaming anybody. We're not hardcore, defining it or whatever.
Like we mentioned before, I mean, parents are shamed for so many different things. We're not adding to that. We're not contributing to shaming. So, whatever it is that you do, if the only thing, quote unquote, crunchy you want is a silicone teether, you can come to us.
Okay. So, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. And we're so happy
that was quick.
Wasn't it? I told you 2 hours goes by really, really
fast. You did.
Yep. But we had a blast. We will definitely have you back on the show. Please.
I really appreciate you guys having me. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Who else could we have? But please, you all, go to Black Women Do Cloth Diaper and follow her on Instagram and Facebook. I'll tell you, I've gotten to know Donna we've gotten to know Donna over the last year. She is really hardcore, outspoken, doesn't mince words. She doesn't bite her tongue. So, you might have to put on some thick skin every now and then. I know every now and then I'm like, ooh. But again, I'm old school. So,
Yeah.
but it is a great resource. She does a lot of good work. We appreciate her. She definitely has a place not only in the Black community, but in the natural parenting community. And we definitely wanted to acknowledge that. So thank you, Donna, for all your hard work.
Thank you,
Don't mean to cut you off. We did have another contribution in terms of things that can be done to help bring about a change in the Black community with making cloth diapering more prominent. Shine Cloth commented and said, connect with Shine Cloth. We donate through Brown Baby Brigade, Inc., and they would love to help. So if you are interested in helping, we've got some great options for you.
Okay, thank you. And also remember Crunchy Boutique, the natural parenting store in Arlington, Texas, and online. You can follow us. You can find Crunchy Boutique on Instagram at crunchy_boutique, on Facebook at Crunchy Boutique TX, or visit the website at crunchyboutique.net. Crunchy Boutique is your source for all things natural parenting. That's cloth diapers, baby carriers, breastfeeding supplies, breastfeeding support, and a whole lot more. Be sure to follow Crunchy Boutique on social media to keep up with all the latest news. And we want to say thank you for any of the listeners who have supported Crunchy Boutique, whether it was actually buying something from Crunchy Boutique or just sending us a message. We get lots of messages of support, just emails or messages through Instagram or Facebook saying, we love you. Or we'll just get a heart emoji, or not emoji, what is it?
It's an emoji.
Okay. Or we'll just get a heart emoji, or somebody will repost something, or they'll post something that they bought from. We get support in so many ways, and we just really want to take a moment just to say thank you. We didn't want this radio program to be a 2-hour-long Crunchy Boutique commercial, because we know that there's a lot of good work that needs to be done in the community. There's a lot of things that need to be talked about, not just in the Black community, but in the natural parenting community as a whole. So that's why we're here. But we did want to take a moment just to say thank you. We appreciate the attaboys. We appreciate the high fives. We appreciate just, you encouraging us to keep standing and to keep moving forward. We are celebrating our first anniversary on June 15th.
Yeah,
which
is crazy.
Woo!
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it'll be an entire year on June 15th, and we have a lot of great things in store. We're going to have, we take any excuse, any opportunity to have a party. So we planned a party. We plan to really party on June 15th. So, and of course, we always have
giveaways, lots and lots of giveaways.
So just keep your eye on Crunchy Boutique so you'll know all the latest regarding our party, because we do plan to celebrate like only we can. Thank you also to our listeners and Facebook viewers. Be sure to catch us each and every Monday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. right here on Fishbowl Radio Network. That is fbrn.us in the green stream. Or find us on our Facebook page, Natural Parenting Talk with Lauren and Kima. You'll want to be sure to tune in next week when our special guest will be Dr. Michelle Jefferson of Abundant Life Chiropractic and Dr. Charmaine Barnes of Charms of Care, when our topic will be all about chiropractic care. So it should be a very interesting discussion. We had the opportunity to meet both doctors a couple weeks ago, and they are fabulous. We can't wait to have them on. So that's it for us, y'all. Thank you for being with us. Thanks again, Donna. Everybody, enjoy the remainder of your Monday.
And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, oh, hey.